Our next topic in acid, base and salts chapter is salts. We have covered up acid and bases. Now we are doing salts. So what are salts? First of all, we are doing families of salts. Families means how many types of salts are there. To understand families of salts, we are taking same cation. Let's say salts with same cation or anion. One thing is common. They belong to the same family. Like sodium chloride, sodium sulfate, sodium nitrate. Sodium is common here. So these kind of salts are known as sodium salts. So first I'm taking one example here. Family of salts. In this example, I'm keeping the cations same. That is, these are called sodium salts. Example of these are sodium chloride, sodium sulfate we can take here, sodium nitrate, and formulas of these. Sodium chloride is NaCl, sodium sulfate is Na2SO4, and sodium nitrate is NaNO3. Now, second example I'm taking is where I'm keeping anion same. Family of salts, like anion I'm taking in all these examples is chloride. So these salts are known as chloride salts. Like one example, sodium chloride. Anion here is chloride. Then we can take potassium chloride, calcium chloride. So all these salts, they have chloride anion common in them. So this formula of sodium chloride NaCl, potassium chloride KCl, and calcium chloride is CaCl2. So these kind of salts are known as which salts? Chloride salts, because this anion chloride is common in these. So this is the meaning of families of salts. Now we're doing the classification of salts. Classification of salts. We can classify the salts into three categories. That is, salt is anionic, it is cationic, or the salt is neutral in nature. So there are three types of salts. So salts of a strong acid and a strong base. When this is dissolved in water, the solution is neutral. So these kind of salts are known as neutral salts. And if we take salts of strong acid and weak base and dissolve this in water, the solution will be acidic in nature. So these kind of salts are known as acidic salts. And third one is salts of strong base and weak acid we take here. Then these, when dissolved in water, the solution will be basic. So these kind of salts are known as basic salts. Type of salt. Then nature of acid in this. Examples of these we are taking. Nature of acid. Nature of base. And then when we dissolve this salt in water, then what is the nature of this salt solution? In type, we are taking first example, NaCl. If we take NaCl salt, NaCl salt is made up of cation you write OH, with anion you write H. You will come to know This salt is made from which base and which acid? This is made up of sodium hydroxide and HCl. So this is, acid is HCl and base is NaOH. NaOH is a strong base and HCl also is a strong acid. That means this is example of salt of strong acid and strong base. This is strong acid, this is strong base. If both these are strong acid and base, then what is the nature of the solution? Remember, the solution will be neutral in nature. If both acid and base they are strong, then solution is neutral. Second example, ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride is made up of ammonium hydroxide and HCl. So this is a salt of, ammonium hydroxide is a weak base and HCl is a strong acid. So this salt is made up of weak base and strong acid. Acid is HCl and base here is ammonium hydroxide. Acid is strong while base is weak. So solution will take the nature of the strong substance. If both are strong, then it will be neutral. But in this case, if one is strong and another one is weak, then the solution will take the nature of the strong substance. So strong one here is acid. So this solution is acidic in nature. Third example, sodium acetate. This salt is called sodium acetate. This is made up of sodium hydroxide and this acid is acetic acid. Acetic acid is weak acid. So this is a salt of weak acid. NaOH is a strong base and of strong base. Then acid here is CH3COOH and base here is NaOH. This one is weak while base here is strong. So solution will be basic in nature because it is taking the nature of the strong substance. Now one more example I'm taking here. Like if we have this salt is called ammonium acetate. Ammonium acetate made up of acetic acid and ammonium hydroxide. Acetic acid and ammonium hydroxide. Both these are weak. So this is a salt of weak acid and weak base. This one is weak acid. This one is weak base. If both the substances are weak, then the solution can be acidic or this can be basic in nature. If both are strong, solution is neutral. If both are weak, it can be acidic or basic. But if one is strong and another one is weak, then solution will take the nature of the substance that is strong in nature. So these are the type of the salts, classification of salts, that salts can be neutral, acidic or basic in nature. Now after knowing about the families of salts and classification of salts, we have to do 5 salts which are in our syllabus, and one by one we are doing these. Some important compounds. Or some important salts we can say. First I'm taking here sodium chloride and sodium hydroxide. Sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide. First is the common name of these. Common name here is common salt of this, or this is also called table salt. Then we have to do the chemical formula. Chemical formula of sodium chloride is NaCl here. Next we have to do the preparation of these. Preparation. How this is prepared. On large scale, commercially when we are preparing Then we prepare common salt by evaporating the seawater. On large scale, it is prepared by evaporation of seawater. But when we evaporate the seawater, then we will not get pure sodium chloride because there will be other salts also. We call this as crude. Crude means raw, which has some other impurities also in it. Crude sodium chloride that we get by evaporation of seawater, thus obtained, contains some other salts also. Contains soluble salts as impurities. And this is actually of which color? Brown color. Has brown color. So known as rock salt. So this is called rock salt. But when we have to prepare it in lab, then how we prepare it? In lab, it is prepared by reacting hydrochloric acid with sodium hydroxide. They will react to form NaCl, and plus there is water. So we can evaporate this and we can get sodium chloride. This is the method of preparation on large scale, and in lab how we can prepare it. Next we have properties of sodium chloride. First is, we all know this is white in color and it is soluble in water. Third property is non-deliquescent when it is pure. Non-deliquescent when it is pure, that means it does not absorb the moisture from air. The property of absorbing the moisture from air is known as deliquescency. So it is non-deliquescent when it is pure, but may become deliquescent. Deliquescent means that is it absorbs moisture. So pure sodium chloride is not absorbing water, but it can absorb moisture. When it will absorb moisture? When it is impure, and that is if it has calcium chloride and magnesium chloride as impurity, then it will become deliquescent. So these are the properties of the sodium chloride. Next we have the uses of sodium chloride. Uses. Where we use sodium chloride? In cooking we use it as table salt. We use it for domestic purpose, that is in our kitchens. For making food, we use sodium chloride. Second, it is also a food preservative. Like in pickles, we add salt. So it is a food preservative also. Third, it is used as a de-icing agent. De-icing agent means to remove the snow from the roads. That is to clear the snow. That is to clear snow from roads. Sodium chloride is used. Another important function, it is used for preparation of some other chemicals also, in preparation of hydrochloric acid, sodium hydroxide, even sodium bicarbonate. This is also called sodium hydrogen carbonate, and sodium carbonate. These are prepared from sodium chloride, and afterwards we will be preparing these compounds from the sodium chloride when we will do these compounds. So this is about the sodium chloride. We have done the common name, chemical formula, preparation, properties and uses of sodium chloride. Now I am doing the next part, that is the sodium hydroxide. Common name of sodium hydroxide is caustic soda. This is called caustic soda. Chemical formula of sodium hydroxide is NaOH. And now we are doing the preparation of this, how sodium hydroxide is prepared. Industrially, that is on large scale when we are preparing it, it is produced by doing the electrolysis, produced by the electrolysis phenomenon. And electrolysis of which substance? Of sodium chloride is done. And that is done in a cell which is called Kastner-Kellner cell. So when electrolysis is done of the sodium chloride solution, then which substance is produced? NaOH is produced. On passing electricity through brine solution. What is brine solution? That sodium chloride in water. That solution is known as brine solution. Brine solution is sodium chloride and water mixture. Then in this process, hydrogen is formed at cathode and chlorine gas evolves at anode, and what is left behind is the sodium hydroxide, and this process is called chlor-alkali process. Chlor-alkali process. So the reaction that takes place is brine solution, that is NaCl and water. Through this solution, electricity is passed. As a result of this, NaOH, chlorine and hydrogen will form. To balance this is 2 here, and this is 2 sodium hydroxide. Now to understand the preparation of this substance, just see how we will get this thing. This reaction, how we're getting these products. NaCl and water is there. When we pass electricity, then electrolysis will take place. Electrolysis means they will break up into ions. I'm writing it separately for NaCl and water. This will break up to form Na plus and Cl minus ions, while water will form H plus and OH minus ion. This sign I have used because water will dissociate very less. See, 2 positive ions they have formed and 2 negative ions they have formed. In electrolysis, we have a cathode and an anode. Cathode is the negatively charged electrode. So towards these positive ions they will move. Out of these 2 positive ions, the hydrogen here will discharge. At cathode electrode, this hydrogen ions will gain electron and they will change to hydrogen. So H plus will change to hydrogen and Na plus will remain in the cell only. At anode, anode is positively charged electrode, so it will pull these negative ions to its side. And out of these 2, this Cl minus ion here, these will change to chlorine with the loss of electron. So which ions are left in the cell? These 2 have changed to hydrogen and chlorine. Hydrogen will form at cathode while chlorine will form at anode. And these 2 ions left in the solution combine to form NaOH. So when we combine this whole process, see the combined reaction. NaCl and water, when we pass electricity, on passing electricity, what will happen? This Na plus and OH minus will form and they will combine to form NaOH. Cl minus is forming chlorine and hydrogen ions, they are forming the H2. So where we are getting the chlorine? Chlorine we are getting at anode and hydrogen we get at cathode. And name of this process is chlor-alkali process. Now see this combined equation. To balance this, we will have this thing, this reaction. So in steps also you can do this thing to understand this thing. Otherwise you are just supposed to write the reaction only here. So I hope this is clear that how we are getting this NaOH by this process by doing the electrolysis. Now next we have is the properties of sodium hydroxide, caustic soda. This is also white in color, but this is actually translucent solid and soluble in water, highly soluble in water. And when we dissolve sodium hydroxide in water, this process is highly exothermic. Lot of heat comes out when we dissolve sodium hydroxide in water. So these are the properties of sodium hydroxide. After doing the properties, now we have to do the uses of chlorine, hydrogen and of NaOH, of all three. So uses of hydrogen. First of all, hydrogen is used as a fuel. Then it is used in making of ammonia, which is used for the making of fertilizers. Then from hydrogen we can also prepare HCl. It's also used to prepare cosmetics, medicines also. These are the uses of hydrogen. After doing the use of hydrogen, now we are doing the uses of chlorine. Uses of chlorine. Chlorine is used in the water treatment because it kills the germs. So it is used in water treatment, and even in the swimming pools also it is used to kill the germs. It is used to prepare PVC, that is polyvinyl chloride. Then it is a disinfectant. To prepare disinfectants it is used. It is used to prepare chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons, which actually are a cause of depletion of ozone layer. In making of pesticides also it is used. Then from chlorine HCl can also be prepared, and this is also used as bleach for household use. After the uses of chlorine, now we are coming to the uses of caustic soda, that is NaOH. First is, it is used for degreasing metals. To remove the grease from metals, it's used to clean them. Then it is used in making of soaps and detergents also. Important component to prepare soaps and detergents. Is used in making of paper. Even in making of artificial fibers also caustic soda is used. So these are the uses of sodium hydroxide. So with this, our two compounds are complete. These are the sodium chloride and sodium hydroxide. Now moving on to the next compounds after this, the third and the fourth compound, that is the calcium oxychloride, and fourth one here is sodium hydrogen carbonate. So first we have is the common name of this. Calcium oxychloride is commonly known as bleaching powder, and common name of sodium hydrogen carbonate is baking soda. After common name, now common chemical formula we have CaOCl2, and this one is NaHCO3. Next we have is the preparation of bleaching powder. It is prepared by reacting calcium hydroxide with chlorine. When calcium hydroxide reacts with chlorine, we get calcium oxychloride and water. And this is prepared by Solvay's process. By name of process is Solvay's process. In Solvay's process, we take brine solution, that is NaCl and water, and through this solution carbon dioxide and ammonia is passed. On passing these, this will form ammonium chloride and NaHCO3, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate will form. So just by passing carbon dioxide and ammonia through brine water, we will get the sodium hydrogen carbonate. After the preparation of these, now next one is the properties. Bleaching powder, this is yellowish white powder. This is a slight yellow color. And on heating, strong smell of chlorine, and otherwise also leave it for some time, it gets gives a very strong smell of chlorine and loses this chlorine slowly and slowly when exposed to air. That is why the smell of chlorine is very strong, because it is losing that chlorine and it mixes up into the air. So these are the properties of calcium oxychloride. Properties of sodium hydrogen carbonate, which is baking soda. This is also white color, solid white in a powdered form. Then it is slightly corrosive in nature. Mild form, it is non-corrosive, but when we take it in pure form, this has a little corrosive action. On heating, this is very important. On heating, it decomposes to give carbon dioxide gas. On heating, it will decompose to give carbon dioxide gas. So this reaction we have to study now, that on heating, what happens? On heating, reaction takes place like this. NaHCO3, when we heat it, it decomposes to give sodium carbonate, water, and there's evolution of carbon dioxide. To balance this, we write 2 here. So these are the properties of sodium hydrogen carbonate. After properties, we have to do their uses. Use of calcium oxychloride, that is bleaching powder, is, of course, it is used for bleaching purpose. Then it's used in textile industry. It's also used to bleach wood pulp that is used for making of paper. That means it's also used in paper industry. Then for bleaching of clothes in laundry. Then it is a disinfectant also. So it is used to disinfect the water that can be made fit for the drinking purpose, because it will kill the germs. Disinfectant for drinking water. Next, come to the uses of baking soda. It is an antacid to give relief from acidity problem. It can be used because it neutralizes excess of acid in a stomach. Used as soda acid fire extinguisher. How this will help in extinction of fire? Because when it will come in contact with fire, it will get heated up, and on heating it will decompose to give which gas? Carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide actually helps in extinction of fire. Then it is used in baking, that is from this baking powder can be prepared for making baking powder. Now what is baking powder? How baking soda is different from baking powder? In baking soda, some acid is added. Mix of baking soda and a mild edible acid is added, which we can eat, such as tartaric acid. Which acid is there in this? Tartaric acid. So baking soda and tartaric acid becomes baking powder actually. And on heating, this will give the carbon dioxide, and this will cause the bread or the cake to rise, and because of that, these baking things, they will become soft and spongy. So these are the 4 compounds that we have covered up. Now one more compound is left. This is sodium carbonate. So I'm writing this compound separately now. 4 we have covered up. Next is the 5th one, that is sodium carbonate. Actually, in the sodium hydrogen carbonate only we have covered sodium carbonate. Common name of this compound is washing soda. Sodium carbonate is washing soda. Its chemical formula is Na2CO3.10 water. This is called sodium carbonate decahydrate. Sodium carbonate decahydrate. Next is preparation. How this is prepared? In sodium hydrogen carbonate we have done, it is prepared by Solvay's process. Even this is prepared by Solvay's process. See in the Solvay's process how we get sodium carbonate. Actually in this, first of all, we get the sodium carbonate only. This is the process here. In sodium hydrogen carbonate, Solvay's process, we are getting the sodium hydrogen carbonate here. Then we have to heat this. On heating the sodium hydrogen carbonate, further what we get from this thing is the washing soda, that is sodium carbonate. So this is also prepared by the Solvay's process. So first we get the sodium carbonate. It is prepared by heating sodium hydrogen carbonate that we get first in the Solvay's process. So when we heat it, NaHCO3, we have done, it will decompose to form the sodium carbonate, carbon dioxide and water. So carbon dioxide will evolve, and what is left? Sodium carbonate and water solution is left. Now this one is crystallized. On crystallization we get Na2CO3.10 water. So here recrystallization of sodium carbonate solution gives washing soda, that is Na2CO3.10 water, sodium carbonate decahydrate. Next we have properties of this compound. This is also white color solid, and this is also soluble in water. And when it will come in contact with air, this reaction is also very important. On exposure to air, what will happen? There are 10 water molecules. It loses 9 water molecules. It loses molecules of water. So reaction here is Na2CO3.10H2O. When it comes in contact with air, it will lose 9 water molecules. Only 1 water molecule is left here. But if we heat it further, then this water molecule will also get removed and it changes to sodium carbonate without water molecules. This is known as soda ash. So this is the process property. What will happen when it will come in contact with air? The water molecules will be lost from this thing. It will change first of all to Na2CO3 monohydrate, and then that 1 water molecule will also evaporate and it will become soda ash without the water molecules. Next we have the uses of this compound. It is used in water softening. Sometimes water is hard. This has the calcium and magnesium salts in it, and that water is not suitable for the washing purpose because the lather formation will not be there. So it is used in softening of that water to remove the calcium and magnesium salts from water. And it's also used in manufacture of glass. Soap is prepared from this borax. Borax is the compound which is used in making of borosil containers. That is again a type of a glass only. And from this caustic soda is also prepared. Is also used in paper and in textile industry. In paper and textile industry. So these are some important compounds. 5 compounds we have covered up. Sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide, calcium chloride, sodium hydrogen carbonate, and this last one is sodium carbonate.